I don't know. You're so quiet. Left the clock.
Yeah.
Oh, 7 o'clock. Welcome, everyone. And I'm very proud that you're all so quiet, waiting for the meeting to start. This meeting is being held in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act and is open to the media and public. Notices were duly posted and the meeting was advertised in the Hunterdon County Democrat and Courier News. Formal action may be taken. Can I get a roll call, please?
Greg Berg.
Yes.
Carl Hampel.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Anna Shin.
Here.
Laura Simon.
Here. Can we stand for the flag salute?
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mrs. Simon. Good evening and welcome, everyone. I'm very excited tonight to have the Hollandbrook students and staff present their information on Genius Hour. Before we do, I have one announcement to make to members of the Board of Education and to the parents and members of the community that are here tonight. Monday, April 15th at 5:30 p.m., we are having our first SEL Social Emotional Learning Parent Academy. If any parents are interested in coming, we have several sessions throughout the evening on Monday evening for parents to learn about social emotional learning and some of our district initiatives. The evening starts at 5:30. The sessions are being held twice. So sessions start at 6, and then there'll be repeat sessions that start again at 7. So if you can make one or both, you're certainly welcome to attend. We encourage parents, if you'd like to come and attend and learn a little bit about social emotional learning. So with that, tonight we have a very special presentation, members of the board, from the Hollandbrook School students. So I'd like to introduce Mr. Nigro, his staff, and his students.
Good evening. Whoa. Okay, I know it's yours. Good evening, board. Good evening, kids. I've never heard you guys so quiet so quickly. That was amazing. Every year I'm invited to come and present something about Hollandbrook School, and every year I immediately email my staff and ask them if they're interested in taking my place so I don't bore you to death. Unfortunately, every year my staff jumps on it, and this year I'm very happy to introduce 2 previous recipients of the Teacher of the Year Award who are going to make their presentation with their children tonight, Mrs. Joey Rarig and Dr. Ann Kane. Ladies.
Hello, everyone. We are very excited for our students to come here today to present to you what we've been doing for the last 4 weeks, I want to say, called Genius Hour. It is completely student-driven, student-led, so we are going to let the students lead the charge today.
There is a movement happening right now in classrooms all over the country that encourages students to explore their own passions and creativity. Students at all grade levels will be engaged like never before. I present to you Genius Hour. This is where student passions come to life. Genius Hour has many roots, but is based on a business practice that Google uses with their development team. They allow their developers to spend 20% of their time at work on projects that interest them, provided that it has the potential to advance the company. The idea is simple. Allow employees to focus on their own passion projects and productivity will go up. There are many commercial projects that have been developed by these 20% projects, including Gmail, Google Talk, and Google News. Fortunately for students, educators have grasped onto the idea and coined the term Genius Hour. This is where teachers allow students to work on whatever project they want during their own learning time. We've all had students in our class that aren't motivated by the traditional school environment. The beauty of Genius Hour is that it provides a path to intrinsic motivation. When students have a say in their learning, they become much more engaged, their confidence is boosted, and the entire learning process becomes, you guessed it, fun.
Genius Hour is about kids expressing themselves and showing off what they want to learn about.
Ever since that I heard that there was something called Genius Hour and that my class and I could do it, I was inspired to do more.
Natalie and I both love DIY projects, so we turned our DIY love by seeing how DIYs and life hacks could help the world.
We are learning how to make a website so we can reach more people.
It took many tries, but we finally found a way that we can publish our findings.
Genius Hour lets us research tons of topics.
What we do is come up with a question that we want to dive into, but the question can't be answered by a quick Google search.
Some of the topics we have chosen are:
Why don't WWE wrestlers get hurt?
does the price of a basketball shoe equal the quality?
Why do some video games glitch?
What does a Disney Imagineer do and how to shoot three-pointers?
It seems like the more we research, the more questions we have.
I don't usually like writing, but Genius Hour motivated me to write more. Right now, my project, which I'm nowhere near done with, is 22 pages, single-spaced, size 12 font. When I finish my work in class, I'm allowed to do my Genius Hour project, so it makes me want to get my work done. At first, I thought Genius Hour was just another school project that was going to be graded. But once I really started researching my topic, I started to realize it was more than just a school project. It was the key to the door that was holding back my passion this whole time. If Jimmy was here, he would like to say, we feel more passionate about music since starting our Genius Hour research. We are researching what draws people to the band Queen. We love this so much that we came up with our own slogan for our website. It's not even close to royalty, if that's what you're thinking. Did you know that Brian May plays a guitar made from wood that is over 200 years old?
The definition of enriching is the action of improving or enhancing the quality or value of something.
And that's exactly what Genius Hour is.
Griffin, John, who sadly couldn't be here tonight, and I are researching electromagnets.
This is something we're interested in, but don't learn about in school because it's not in our curriculum.
So we decided to research how electromagnets work and how they are used in our everyday lives.
Did you know that electromagnets are hard at work every time you're on your cell phone?
I have learned how to research a lot better from Genius Hour. I don't just search on Wikipedia anymore. I look on Google and then on Wikipedia. Then I use a trusted site like National Geographic to make sure my research is correct. Then, before I present my work, I check it again because I don't want to give any false information to my audience. This is one of the many reasons why I like Genius Hour.
Our project is guided on the question, how can we stop companies from testing on animals? We all think animal cruelty needs to be stopped because lots of animals are suffering from being tested on.
I think the main reason we all work very well together is because we all strongly believe in the same statement. Also, strategy is key. Our strategy is to divide and conquer.
Collaboration is a skill that all kids should learn. We are going to work with different people during our life, so collaboration is a skill that we are going to need when we grow up and get jobs.
Genius Hour helps us share our thoughts with friends and speak for what problem we believe in solving by putting our heads together and using our collaboration skills.
And we think it's fun to learn about something that we want to learn about.
Genius Hour is a great collaboration builder. We really enjoyed working together and creating a slide to share with the class and about our thoughts and ideas. We think everyone will enjoy it. Last year during class, I would think about all the things I want to do at home and all the things I was wondering, like how to build a treehouse or a snowball cannon. And with Genius Hour, I have time to research in school and get the answers to my questions. My grades have gone up a lot this year because I pay attention instead of daydreaming in class.
Now here's a little presentation of Genius Hour with my friend Olivia. In science class, we did saturation experiments, and I really enjoyed it. But when the unit ended, we stopped doing it. But in Genius Hour, I realized that I could keep taking the experiments further. So, okay. So over here, I have the solution of sugar and citric acid. So we already know that the number of scoops of solid it takes to saturate the solution is 4 of sugar and about 5 to 6 of citric acid. So we don't know the number of grams for this, so we need to find the number of grams it takes because scoops isn't accurate because we don't know how much one scoop is. So I need a volunteer. So what we're going to do is we're going to dampen this paper filter. So, like, use your fingertips just to wet it. Yeah, just to wet it. Yeah. So, the reason we're wetting it is because we don't want any of the liquid to be absorbed because then we won't have an accurate answer. So now we're going to put into the funnel and we're going to pour the solution through. Right now we're filtering out any of the extra solid. Saturation means that the solution can no longer dissolve any more solid. And you know this, that it's saturated when you see solid on the bottom. Takes a little time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get 50 milliliters of water and we're going to drop gram pieces into the cup and we're going to compare it on the scale to the solution. So the green pieces stand for 5 grams. The blue stands for 1, the yellow stands for 10, and the red stands for 20. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just into the one. So 10, 15, 20, 21. Yeah. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 4. Now it's almost even. So we have like 35, 36. I think it's, yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, there you go. So it takes around 37 grams to saturate a solution using citric acid and sugar. But it could be a few more, a few less, because we don't have completely accurate measuring tools, so we don't know the exact amount. So like the cup could weigh a little bit, so we don't know exactly, but it's approximate. So that's just one of the variations. Thank you. So that's just one of the variations of the experiments. I have another one or two, but just as an example.
Hi, I'm Phil, and my presentation is about how animal survival methods can help us in the real world. Have you ever wanted to talk to a whale? If you ask me, that sounds amazing. Well, a fish that lives in California called the plain-fin midshipman makes such a loud noise that it sounds like a naval submarine. It does that to attract mates during spring, its mating season. Well, there you have it. That's Genius Hour. Thanks for listening to us. Bye, and we hope you have a great evening.
Boys and girls, thank you so much for coming out this evening. Mrs. Rarig, Dr. Kane, Mr. Nigro, We really appreciate learning all about some of the projects that you've been doing in school. I am so impressed with what you've been learning and the research that you've initiated on your own, which is really cool. And the best part is that these are what you call passion projects. These are projects that come from your heart and your mind, and these are things that you're interested in learning, which is the best kind of learning. I'm also really impressed with your presentation skills tonight. You did an excellent job. I'm very thankful I don't have a presentation for the board tonight because I don't want to follow that. So thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. I think the board really appreciated it. This was wonderful.
Awesome job, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out and sharing all of your passion projects and showing all the research that you've done and having fun in class, doing what you love to do. So thank you for coming out this evening. We'll take a couple minute break.
I don't know if Betty's going to, but thank you. Thank you. Did she bring her? No, she's going to play games on my phone.
Hello. How are you? So we'll pick up again, 7:22. We are now open to the public, limited to action items on the agenda. I tend to agree. All right. We had one correspondence regarding Hollenberg driveway and Readington Road. Administrative reports. Can I get a motion to adopt 1.01?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any questions on 1.01? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Craig Burt.
Yes.
Carol Hample.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Swirling.
Yes.
Hannah Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes. The minutes. Can I get a motion to adopt 2.01 and 2.02?
So moved.
Carol. Are there any questions or changes that need to be made? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Craig Burt.
Yes.
Carol Hample.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace. Eric Swirling.
Abstain.
Hannah Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Finance and facilities. Can I get a motion to adopt 3.01 to 3.06?
Second.
Are there any, we had a committee report?
No.
No
No.
committee report. Okay. Are there any questions on the agenda items?
Yeah, I just want to ask, so the one bid was materially defective and one came in above. What was the estimate?
Jason?
The estimate without architect and other fees was around $1 million.
Oh, so this was substantially above that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Go again.
Yeah, we'll go again. Hopefully April 30th would be our tentative approval for.
It should hopefully appear on the next board meeting. The next bid opening, if it's approved tonight, would be on the 24th of April, Wednesday before the board meeting.
Is it unusual to only get just 2 bids for a project of this magnitude?
With vestibules, sometimes there's a mixture of construction and IT work that needs to be done. And because of the nature of having 2 different professionals come together, you sometimes get a limited response, which in this case we had mainly because some bidders that were potential that received the packages couldn't source an IT person and get a reliable quote quick enough. So we actually may have more bidders in the second round.
Are bidders generally aware, or do they have any idea of what our architect's estimate was prior to bidding?
No.
So, but now they would be aware of, like, the people who did bid previously well above that, and it's now rejected. Would they now know the reason for that?
Yes.
So they might then come back again with a bid more aligned with what our expectations were.
If it's feasible for them to do it profitably, yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert. Yes. Carol Hampel.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Anna Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Passes.
Education technology. Can I get a motion to adopt 4.01 to 4.06?
So moved.
And we had a committee report.
Yes, we do. We had our meeting yesterday morning. We discussed a school climate survey that's scheduled to be administered in May, and the data is going to be used to help with our strategic planning and goal setting. We received an update on the RMS smart boards. A survey was completed by staff about their use of the smart boards, and it was found that interactive features and the projection were the aspects most used. So the technology department is now looking at models that will have these components, and we'll begin with a pilot classroom. The SEL Parent Academy Night, Dr. Hart has spoken about that. Phonics program selections for grades 3 to 5. The LA department has narrowed down the search for a new phonics program, and some sample lessons will occur in various rooms and grades, using some potential programs to find the right fit for Readington and its needs. We had an aerospace update. Some teachers and staff went to Solberg Airport on March 25th for the professional day. They were thrilled with the prospect of the joint venture, and the idea of a class trip has come out of that meeting. This will be in addition to the assembly and in-class programs that are being developed, and the committee recommends approval of this field trip. Future Ready, the committee met for the first time. They discussed what Future Ready is, and setting short-term goals of making sure they can complete the self-assessment portion sometime in the spring. Summer enrichment was discussed. Currently, there's 36 courses tentatively scheduled to run. It's going to be from July 15th to August 1st, and the time will be 8 to 12:30. Dr. Hart proposed an idea to the committee. Not much information. We'll follow up on that as there's more. And and we discussed books for the middle school that the committee recommends approval for, and some revisions for field trips and additions. And that is it.
Thank you. Are there any questions on the committee report or the motion items?
Just a great job to White House on the grant.
I want to just point out, this is the work of the grant written by Janet Sulek, Mrs. Sulek, and a great partnership that we have with Investors Bank. This is really, it's great. And she's been working hard on the sensory garden. So, and we have a thank you letter going to investors.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we do.
All right, not hearing any questions. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hample.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Hannah Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes. Personnel. Can I get a motion to adopt 5.01 to 5.06?
So moved.
Second.
And do we have any questions on the agenda items? Not hearing any. Can I get a roll call, please?
Ray Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hample.
Yes.
Rob McCallum.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders.
Yes.
Thomas Wallace.
Yes.
Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Hannah Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes.
Pass.
Communications? We didn't have anything, right? Then we have unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that the board would like to bring forward? Talk about?
Previously, we discussed the town's need for the low-income housing units and stuff. I've just heard recently, I don't know if anybody else has heard this, supposedly by the year 2025, this town is supposed to have 1,000 units. Is that accurate? Anybody hear that number by the year 2025?
There's an article.
Yeah, there's an
front
article.
page, front page in the Courier was, front page top article, the Courier was scary.
So from what I gather from everything I've seen and heard, it's all being done in the White House School District area. That's potential for a lot of children.
Yeah.
Into that school. Can you hear us? Yeah. So I know we discussed reaching out to the town about getting some information on the plan. I don't know if that occurred, if that can occur or what, but that's a short time frame for this to be occurring.
We did have a meeting with the mayor and the chair of the planning board. There's a document, and I don't know if I forwarded it to the full board, or if we talked about it in finance. I'll forward there's a planning document on the township committee's website that indicates the areas of potential development. The vast majority are in White House School sending area. The one is projected for Three Bridges, but one of the things that's problematic in the Three Bridges area is you need sewer, right? Yeah, you need sewer in order to do these developments, and there's some red tape around that. So we are watching it closely and and having discussions with the township. The only thing that I would say is I don't believe it's 1,000 units. It's 1,000 credits.
Credits, okay.
And a 1 unit doesn't equate to 1 credit.
Okay.
So just remember that they could fulfill their COA obligation. The township could fulfill the COA obligation with less units that count toward more credits.
Gotcha, okay.
I want to say that right now, the Nelson Street development, there are several units that are more than 1 credit. I want to say they might even be 3 credits. 3 or 4 credits. So when you think about 1,000, the number 1,000 sounds like a lot. So just remember that when it comes to 1,000, it's about credits, not about units, right? Yeah. But definitely something that we have an eye on.
Along those lines, I don't know if it's ever happened before, but would it be worthwhile or possible for a township representative to present to the board, like what kind of the future plans would be? And maybe even put in there what maybe their expectation is of a student, like what's an average of student enrollment per that many units?
We can certainly look into it, definitely. There are some There are some analyses that we can do when we know the exact number of units, numbers of bedrooms and bathrooms in each unit too. There's a projection that we can do, and I believe it's Rutgers University has an analysis that we can use in order to project what the student population might be. But based off of things that have happened in neighboring towns with developments, we have a rough estimate, at least for Nelson Street, and we can make estimates for others. But that means we have to get to the point where there's a developer that's purchased the property, that's made a plan for X number of units at 1 bedroom, X number of units at 2 bedroom, X number of units at 3 bedroom, and then we can do more of an analysis. And I don't know that the township is there yet with the developer. But something we can do.
I second what Ray said. I think that'd be a great idea to invite somebody from the town in to discuss this with us, to just give us some idea. Because the article in the Courier, whether it was hard fact or overblown hype, said that that for each affordable unit to entice a builder, there has to be some additional, I don't know, 2 or 3 units. They said that the total could conceivably double the population of Readington Township or something to that effect. And, I read everything with a grain of salt, but I'd like to hear what they have to, what their thoughts are on the subject. But I also understand that they're going in front of some judge or adjudicatory body to determine there's a fairness hearing of some sort to determine whether it's necessary or appropriate or to have that number imposed required here in Readington. So, but it would be nice to have somebody come in and talk to us. They ask us to come to present our budget in front of them. Well, let's, have a little bit of reciprocity here.
I'll follow up.
Any other unfinished business you'd like to discuss? No? How about new business? Anybody?
I've been busy. I attended the Garden State Coalition of Schools for March and the Hunterdon County School Boards Association monthly meeting, as well as I did a workshop today on SEL. All 3 were, I felt like they were kind of layered on top of one another. So one was SEL, one was the Traumatic Loss Coalition, and one was just mental health culture in schools. Doesn't sound good. Information doesn't sound good. The catchphrase they use is we're in an age of loneliness and suicide and addiction rates are up, and the need for mental health in schools is huge. But the kind of spotlights that they shined on were the Traumatic Loss Coalition, which if Reading doesn't have a relationship with them, they're amazing. And the time to get to know them is not when we need them, when there's a traumatic loss within town. They do a lot of work behind the scenes and have a lot of PD available for staff for the school. So maybe it would be a good idea for Anthony Tumolo to reach out to them in terms of SEL and in our schools and that sort of thing. There was also a woman who spoke today from Asbury Park who's doing amazing things with just the culture and climate in that school to kind of combat discipline issues, chronic discipline issues, using all of the buzzwords of SEL, mindfulness and growth mindset and meditation, all kinds of stuff within Asbury Park schools, and is doing amazing things and having amazing results. So I'll put together some notes on a couple of things that I thought really stood out, and I'll send it out to the board.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks, Ron.
Anyone like to bring anything else up?
Was there any discussion about isolation having any result from people now just interacting with their devices?
Technology, addition of tech, really helping to create just this culture of disconnection, and the real responsibilities of schools to build connections through relationships, whether it's through other students or teachers or administrators, just having connection. And there was a real tone to if the teachers aren't healthy, then the students aren't going to be healthy. And so there was a huge component on making sure that teacher healthcare is incentivized and they're told that their health is equal to the kids and that they can't help out their children if they're not feeling well as well. So it was just very interesting. Today in particular was really interesting.
I mean, you see a table full of people sitting there, all of them zombified, looking at their device. And I don't just need to pick on kids, it's adults too. And how, texting each other and they're 2 feet away. So never done that. What can we do?
Does anyone get a text from their kids in the room saying, bring them a drink or
Dinner time.
Yeah.
Is there, maybe it's just the way it is, but if anybody can figure out a way that we can get people to interact on a human level, because isolation really is what's impacting. It's the real, whatever. If you come up with a solution, let us know. I hope.
Anyone else? That was really depressing.
Sorry. That was only the tip of the
It's
iceberg,
such a
yeah.
colossal problem. I mean, we talk about it all the time.
Mhm. And we do things, right? We put things in place.
Yeah.
And we even had the parent meeting this morning. The coffee chat was about building resilience. I remember the first C is connection, right? When connections with people, and there's recognition in the mental health community that without those human connections, not a video game connection, not a television connection, not a text connection, but a human connection is one of the 7 factors that builds human resilience and the ability to cope in times of challenge and adversity. And these skills need to be taught and can be taught, which is the good news, right? We can teach it.
But that doesn't get reported in the newspaper. So.
Right,
And
I
that
know.
that was a big topic of conversation too.
You're right. And all the good things I think we even talked about it today. And I don't know if you were there for this part, but even the teacher mental health, I mean, our teacher academies, we offer yoga classes, we offer running, we offer cooking for the teachers, like healthy lifestyle type things. Because there's recognition on our part as a school district that you need to have healthy, mindful employees and teachers, because that'll better prepare them to, work with students. It's not like we're doing the work, right? But it's tough work to do. It really is, because we're not, the output is, the healthy mind and body of staff and students. It's not, cogs on a wheel or widgets or something like that. These are people. So.
And you don't see the change immediately.
No.
So you can't, it's difficult to measure. It's not always tangible. So, it's easier for the media to blow up all the negative. It's there, you could see it. It's not so easy for them to report on all the good things.
Yeah.
So.
But we are engaged in the conversation and the work. And Robin, whatever you have, pass it along, because I know our staff is interested in whatever they could do.
And the chat this morning was very informative.
It was. And we do have that relationship. The women that were here this morning are the Traumatic Loss Coalition. They are the ones that do the Traumatic Loss Coalition. Hence this morning being, now we have an established relation. We've had it, but now they know Readington more. So it's not. Yeah. Reading is different than Readington. The woman learned today.
One important thing I enjoyed this morning.
Yeah.
Also, but it's the disconnect from school to home. Just like education, it doesn't stop when you leave school. You should have parents reinforcing things, and parents who didn't see that presentation. I was joking with Anna before. I'm like, I've ruined my son. And the way you deal with him at home. On different situations, like, is it too late? I wrecked them forever.
You have to remember, when workshops like this happen, you will question everything every decision you've made as a parent. You have to know that. Yeah. No, you will.
Because he didn't clean his room when he said he would. You don't know I am.
Yeah.
So it's just, and parents, that information would be good if they can, and I know it's difficult to get parents to come out, we have the same conversation, 3 people show up, whatever, but it's, the involvement, education doesn't stop when they get on the bus, at home, it's gotta be there also, so.
Agreed.
It's a difficult time that we live in, that's for sure.
Thank you, Megan.
We're now open to the public. Anything on or off the agenda? You can come up and speak. Sure. Yeah.
Online, there was some clarifying numbers about units, but it said 5,000 to 6,000 units total.
Because it's mixed.
Upwards of 15,000 people.
Yeah.
That's if they build the development and a percentage of it is affordable housing versus the entire.
I thought you were saying that was the viewers we had.
Oh, that'd be awesome. No, but we have 7.
Yay!
7 viewers, that's good.
Well, good. All right. Well, if there is no one who would like to come out and talk to us, that's pretty much it. We're going to go into executive session now. I need a motion to adjourn to executive session in accordance with the Sunshine Law to discuss a legal matter for approximately 30 minutes, at which time the board expects to return to public session where no action will be taken. The matters discussed will be made public if and when the circumstances requiring confidentiality no longer exist. However, it is not presently known when such circumstances will exist. Can I get that motion?
So move.
And a roll call, please.
Trey Egbert.
Yes.
Carol Hample.
Yes.
Rob McCaley.
Yes.
Andrew Saunders. Thomas Wallace. Eric Zwirling.
Yes.
Hannah Shin.
Yes.
Laura Simon.
Yes. 7:45.